Oi, so I have a flirtation, best way of describing it I guess, with somebody from management at my work. Side note, he's 32 and I'm 21. And of course, me being me, I have a dumb crush on him. It's been back and forth flirting since November, but at our staff party several weeks ago, he got a little bit of liquid courage, aka 2 glasses of wine, and he started making moves, dancing with me and hugging me. He told the photographer to get a picture of him and his girl, and now I'm confused. We're neighbours, and he lives in one unit and I live in one door right door next to him. I see him all the time and it's normal and cool. I've been gifting him teas that guests have left behind, since I know he's more of a tea than coffee person. He calls me love, sends me winky face emojis, kissy face emojis, XOXO, turns bright red when he sees me. I have the video from when we were hanging out a few weeks ago, and the way he looks at me just isn't the way friends look at each other. Just wondering how the fuck I'm supposed to approach this. I've been trying to be patient and let nature take its course, but I'm tired of waiting for nature and I want to make a move. Worst case scenario is he rejects me and I embarrass myself and I have to be his neighbour and see him at work for another 2.5 months. What should I do? Make the move or nah? Interesting scenario. Okay. Alright, now ideally he'd man the fuck up and ask you out for drinks if he actually liked you, but for some reason he's making his feelings towards you quite ambiguous by nature, and you have this uncertainty around whether he likes you or not, which is obviously making you draw towards him more. Now, from his perspective, he might not be telling you this either, obviously because he doesn't like you, or he might like you but just doesn't know how to approach the situation. Now, the best way around this situation is you don't have to get him to tell you he likes you or tell him he doesn't tell you he doesn't like you through his words. The best way to tell anyone's emotions towards you are their actions, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to play a tiny bit of a game in order to get him to show whether he actually likes you or not. Okay, because people's emotions are very guarded in times of certainty. So if we get him to feel slightly uncertain about the premise of the relationship the two of you have, his true colors will come out, because it's harder to guard your true colors in times of uncertainty. Okay. Alright, now this is slightly darker psychology, okay? Because you know him in a position of authority where he has this superiority over you, the best tool you can do is to talk about everything you can with him except work. When you're with him, when you're out with him, talk about every single topic you can, things that you're good at, things that you excel at, instead of talking about work. His ego as a man is very firmly attached to the fact he's in a position of authority over people at work. And I guarantee you everyone else outside of work who is below him probably talks to him about work and tries to seek his validation through talking about work. You do the opposite. Don't talk about work, be dismissive if he brings up the subject. You're disarming his greatest tool of power over the people at work, which is one of the biggest fuelers of his ego. And what you therefore do is make him seek your validation. He will start seeking your validation because you're acting different from all the other people that work under him. And because you're acting different from all the other people that work under him, he's going to start naturally gravitating towards you. And here's where you start to play it cool and wait for him to chase you. Now, if you doing this doesn't get him to chase you still, what I'd recommend then is eventually just ask him for a drink, right? I don't know why he's avoiding it. I don't know if he's seeing people, if he's even interested in you in that way. You say that he approached you after he had a few drinks, which shows that obviously that boosted his confidence to do something that he otherwise probably wouldn't have done. Now, whether he otherwise wouldn't have done this because he's not interested or because he wasn't confident enough to do it sober are two very different things, right? Where the latter means that he would ordinarily want to approach you but he's not confident enough, and the first one means that it's just something he done on a whim while he was drunk. So we're hoping for the second one, and the only way that you can be able to tell this is if you pull back a little bit and see if he gravitates towards you. Pull back a little bit. When you do speak to him, don't talk about work and you're disarming his greatest tool, and see if he gravitates towards you a little bit, right? If he gravitates towards you a little bit, this is a sign that he obviously has some kind of interest in you. And once it comes to that stage, you can then play it normal, right? Play it normal. You don't always need to be pulling back, guys. You only do this in times where someone is being difficult or there's an ambiguous nature around the relationship you have with them. People's true colors will come out in a time of uncertainty, right? In a time of certainty, people's ego and their mindset is very stable, so they have no reason to show their true colors. They can put on any front they want. They can act like they like you. They can act like they don't like you. In times of uncertainty, people's true colors will show, and this is why I'm telling you, disarm his greatest tool and pull back a little bit. He'll gravitate towards you and show you his true colors of how it is he feels about you. And then you can do whatever you want with that knowledge. You can either gravitate towards him, you can date him, you can ask him out for drinks, whatever, right? So try that. Pull back a bit, disarm his greatest tool, see what happens. Send us in another email to let us know, and we will be happy to make a follow-up video on it. Thank you.